First question says, prove that the angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees. Hint, consider parallel lines. So if you have parallel lines, so this angle A is going to be equal to this angle because alternate angles. This angle B and this will also be B because once again alternate angles. Now we know that C is going to be equal to 180 minus B minus A. So A, B, and C we claim to be equal to 180. So if we substitute C with 180 minus B minus A, that gives us 180. Since both sides are equal, we can easily show that the angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees. That's your answer. Then the board says 4 miles north from A to B. So it's going north from A to B. Then the board says 5 miles northeast from B to C. So that's C. The board then sails directly back to A. So it's coming back over here. How far does the boat sail in total? This is 4, this is 5, and AC is what we need to find. They haven't given any angles to us. However, since it says that it's going northeast, northeast is right in the middle over here. This is northeast. So this is a 90, and this is going to be half of 90, which is 45. So 90 plus 45 is 135. So this angle is 135. And since we have two lengths and the angle between them, we can easily use cosine rule to find AC. If it was a right angle triangle, then we could have used SOHCAHTOA or Pythagoras. But since it's a non-right angle triangle, we'll use the cosine rule. So AC square equals to 4 square is 5 square minus 2 times 4 times 5 times cos of 135. That's going to give us 16 plus 25 minus 40 cos of 135. So we'll find the value of 40 cos 135 first, 28.28. This is going to be 41. 28.28. So AC is going to be 41 plus 28.28. And then we take the square root of that, square root of 69.28. That leaves us with 8.32 centimeters. So asking for the total. So total is going to be 4 plus 5 plus 8.32. And that's going to be 17.32 centimeters. That's the total distance the sail travels. Then it says rationalize the denominator of 2 plus root 3 over 5 over root 5 minus 1. So whenever we're rationalizing surds and we're trying to rationalize the denominator, what we do is we multiply the fraction with the conjugate of this surd, the denominator. So conjugate basically would be root 5 plus 1 over here. And then again divide by root 5 plus 1. So in conjugate, basically what happens is that your sign in the middle of the two terms changes. If it's positive, then the conjugate would be negative. If it's negative, the conjugate will be positive. So The conjugate of root 5 minus 1 is root 5 plus 1. So we multiply and divide the fraction by the conjugate. So that leaves us with 2 plus root 3 times root 5 plus 1 divided by root 5 minus 1 times root 5 plus 1. Expand the bracket. 2 times root 5 is 2 root 5. 2 times 1 is 2. Root 3 times root 5 is root 15. And root 3 times 1 is root 3 over. Now, as you can see, this is similar to difference of perfect squares. A minus b times a plus b. So let's rewrite that as a squared minus b squared. Root 5 squared minus 1 squared. So that's 2 root 5 plus 2 plus root 15 plus root 3 divided by 5 minus 1. Why 5 minus 1? Because square of the root number is the number itself. So that's 2 root 5 plus 2 plus root 15 plus 3 divided by 4. The reason why we can't further simplify the numerator is because for us to add surds or like roots, the number inside the root has to be the same. As you can see in the first term, it's 5 inside the root sign. Then we have a 15 and then we have a 3. All these three numbers are different. They cannot be further simplified. So this remains as it is. You cannot add anything, you can't subtract anything, you can't multiply or divide. So that's your answer. Then says x is an obtuse angle. Given that sine of x equals to 5 over 13, find cos of x. So if x is an obtuse angle, firstly, we know sine is positive either in the first quadrant or the second quadrant. And as you can see, the angle would be obtuse if it's in the second quadrant because this is your angle, or in the first quadrant. So sine x, this 530, this is going to be 5, this is going to be 13. This lies in the second quadrant. And the second quadrant, cosine is negative. So whatever fraction we get, or like a whole number we get for cos x, that's supposed to be negative. Now cos x we know is adjacent over hypotenuse. Sin x we know is opposite over hypotenuse. So we have our hypotenuse, that's 13. We have our opposite, which is 5. So we can use Pythagoras to find the adjacent. So 13 square minus 5 square equals to x squared. So that's 169 minus 25 square root equals to x, which is square root of 144, and that is 12. So which means cosine would be negative 12 over 13. Once again, it's negative 12 over 13 because x is an obtuse angle, which means it lies in the second quadrant. And the second quadrant, only sine is positive. Both cosine and tangent are negative. Next question says expand and simplify. So we have the expansion of a triple bracket. So what we do is we start with expanding the first two brackets first, and then multiply the result with the third bracket. So 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times root 3 is root 3. Root 2 times 1 is root 2. And root 2 times root 3 is root 6. Multiplied by 2 minus root 3. Since we can't further simplify the first bracket because once again the roots don't have the same numbers under it. So this remains as it is, and we expand it with the third bracket. So 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times root 3 is 2 root 3. 2 times root 2 is 2 root 2. And 2 times root 6 is 2 root 6. So now negative root 3 times 1 is negative root 3. Negative root 3 times positive root 3 is negative root 3 squared. Negative root 3 times root 2 is negative root 6. And negative root 3 times positive root 6 is negative root 18. Now, collect the like terms. 2 root 3 minus root 3 is root 3. 2 root 2 remains as it is. 2 root 6 minus root 6 is root 6. Square of root 3 is going to be 3. So negative 3 plus 2, and root 18 can be simplified to 3 root 2 because 18 is 9 times 2 and 9 is a square number. So 9 comes outside as 3 and 2 remains inside. So root 2, 2 root 2 minus 3 root 2 is negative root 2 plus root 3 plus root 6, and this is positive, and we have negative 1. That is your, this is 6. Yeah. So that's your answer.